We got the Spectre M4 Gel Blaster here. I showed it to you before. This is from TRIGGERTOY. So TRIGGERTOY is a newer website, but it's run by the same cousins that run K Wolfswan. They were just looking for a cooler name website, and they've been in the business for a while. Very legit site. Tons of variety of blasters. So this Spectre M4 is a really nice blaster, really well made. If you watch any of my previous videos about it, you would have seen that. Now, if you remember, I was having some FPS issues, so there's obviously some air loss somewhere. So I decided to go ahead and take it apart and see what I could find out. And during that, what I found out was basically the inner barrel just wasn't really tight into the T-piece. Like you could just pull it out, right? So what I did was I actually went to a slightly longer inner barrel, like only like an inch longer. So not enough that it should really affect any FPS either way. And silicone that in. The reason I went to that is it gave me the ability to have a little longer thread piece on the end, because if you remember, this has like reverse threads if you watch the previous videos. So that's what I did. That I silicone that in there really nice and tight, and now we're at 250 plus FPS where it should be. So when I was playing with it, I managed to break the door on the bottom of that grip, and that's where the battery goes. Now, I could fix that, but I could make it work, but it wouldn't look great. So instead, what I decided to do was route the wiring back into the buffer tube. So now we got the battery back in the buffer tube. And that way we can use a little larger battery too. We have a little more options for sizes of battery. So that's what I did there. Because of that, I had to do some drilling in the 3D piece I made and some other things. So this had been a little spring-loaded piece, right? So instead I put some heat inserts in there so I could just screw in there tight to hold that in. So that's holding in there nice and tight. So since I had to take that off, I was not worried about doing any type of, drilling into the actual blaster anymore, since I already had to fix that and I had to remove that. I didn't care. So we got the battery back here now. And while I was playing with it, I wasn't super happy with the design I'd made. I made a design for a little riser, rail riser right here, and I was just using M-locks so that I didn't actually, do anything to the blaster. But since, again, I had to do some things, I had to do some modifications blaster, I just was like, I don't really care. So I'm going to print this back one here. Now this actually goes through a hole that was existing. So I didn't drill a hole through here, but I did use some glue on here too. So we do have a little riser there. Now you can still see through the riser and use that sight if you wanted to. You still can do that, right? So I made it kind of that peekaboo style riser. Went with a different grip that I already had that I liked. And then I added matching rails on each side. So I got rid of there was one kind of factory rail right here, but it only had it on one side. So instead, I did some things. I printed the same rails, and then I kept the same style rail throughout just because I like the looks of that. And then there's just a different new fake suppressor on there. Still got the CQB. Obviously, I'll put some sort of optic up here. But overall, very happy with it. Nice blaster. Priming looks good. We've got everything, tightened everything up so that like your safety actually holds like it's supposed to. Semi-automatic holds like it's supposed to. Obviously, we got your mag release too. So there you go. It's the Spectre M4, and it's from TRIGGERTOY, triggertoy.com. Like I said, 100% legit site. I know those guys pretty well. Really nice guys. So comments, questions, post them below. Of course, like, subscribe, share my channel with your friends, and participate in those monthly contests on my YouTube channel where you can win over $300 in blasters and accessories. All right, check back for the demo video, and thanks for your support.